Glory to God the Father and Son Yeshua Messiah. Matthew chapter 26. The leaders plot to kill Jesus. When Yeshua had finished speaking, he said to his Talmidim, "As you know, Pesach is 2 days away, and the Son of Man will be handed over to be nailed to the execution stake." Then the head Kohanim and the elders of the people gathered in the palace of Caiaphas the Kohen Hagadol. They made plans to arrest Yeshua surreptitiously and have him put to death. But they said, "Not during the festival, or the people will riot." Mary anoints Jesus for burial. Yeshua was in Beit Anya, at the home of Shimon, the man who had had Zariat. A woman who had an alabaster jar filled with very expensive perfume approached Yeshua while he was eating and began pouring it on his head. When the Talmidim saw it, they became very angry. "Why this waste?" they asked. "This could have been sold for a lot of money and given to the poor." But Yeshua, aware of what was going on, said to them, "Why are you bothering this woman? She has done a beautiful thing for me. The poor you will always have with you, but you will not always have me. She poured this perfume on me to prepare my body for burial. Yes, I tell you that throughout the whole world, wherever this good news is proclaimed, what she has done will be told in her memory." Judas agrees to betray Jesus. Then one of the 12, the one called Yehuda from Kariat, went to the head Kohanim and said, "What are you willing to give me if I turn Yeshua over to you?" They counted out 30 silver coins and gave them to Yehuda. 1. From then on he looked for a good opportunity to betray him. Passover is made ready. On the first day for Matzah, the Talmidim came to Yeshua and asked, "Where do you want us to prepare your Seder?" "Go into the city, to so and so," he replied, "and tell him that the rabbi says, 'My time is near, my Talmidim and I are celebrating Pesach at your house.'" The Talmidim did as Yeshua directed and prepared the Seder. Passover is celebrated. When evening came, Yeshua reclined with the 12 Talmidim. And as they were eating, he said, "Yes, I tell you that one of you is going to betray me." They became terribly upset and began asking him, one after the other, "Lord, you don't mean me, do you?" He answered, "The one who dips his matzah in the dish with me is the one who will betray me. The Son of Man will die just as the Tanakh says he will. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better for him had he never been born." Yehuda, the one who was betraying him, then asked, "Surely, Rabbi, you don't mean me?" He answered, "The words are yours." The Lord's Supper. While they were eating, Yeshua took a piece of matzah, made the birakah, broke it, gave it to the Talmidim and said, "Take, eat. This is my body." Also he took a cup of wine, made the birakah, and gave it to them, saying, "All of you, drink from it. For this is my blood, which ratifies the new covenant, my blood shed on behalf of many, so that they may have their sins forgiven. I tell you, I will not drink this fruit of the vine again until the day I drink new wine with you in my Father's kingdom." Peter's denial is predicted. After singing the Hallel, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Yeshua then said to them, "Tonight you will all lose faith in me, as the Tanakh says, 'I will strike the shepherd dead, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered, too.' But after I have been raised, I will go ahead of you into the Galilee. I will never lose faith in you, Kepha answered, even if everyone else does. Yeshua said to him, Yes. I tell you that tonight before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times. Even if I must die with you, Kepha replied, I will never disown you. And all the Talmudim said the same thing. Prayers of Christ in the Garden. Then Yeshua went with his Talmudim to a place called Gat Shemanim and said to them, Sit here while I go over there and pray. He took with him Kepha and Zabdi's 2 sons. Grief and anguish came over him. And he said to them, My heart is so filled with sadness that I could die. Remain here and stay awake with me. Going on a little farther, he fell on his face, praying, My Father, if possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet, not what I want, but what you want. He returned to the Talmudim and found them sleeping. He said to Kepha, Were you so weak that you couldn't stay awake with me for even an hour? Stay awake, and pray that you will not be put to the test. The spirit indeed is eager, but human nature is weak. A second time he went off and prayed, My Father, if this cup cannot pass away unless I drink it, let what you want be done. Again he returned and found them sleeping. Their eyes were so heavy. Leaving them again, he went off and prayed a third time, saying the same words. Then he came to the Talmudim and said, For now, go on sleeping, take your rest. Look, the time has come for the Son of Man to be betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up. Let's go. Here comes my betrayer. Betrayal and arrest of Jesus. While Yeshua was still speaking, Yehuda, one of the 12, came, and with him a large crowd carrying swords and clubs, from the head Kohanim and elders of the people. The betrayer had arranged to give them a signal. The man I kiss is the one you want, grab him. He went straight up to Yeshua, said, Shalom, Rabbi, and kissed him. Yeshua said to him, Friend, do what you came to do. Then they moved forward, laid hold of Yeshua and arrested him. At that, one of the men with Yeshua reached for his sword, drew it out and struck at the servant of the Kohen Hagadol, cutting off his ear. Yeshua said to him, Put your sword back where it belongs, for everyone who uses the sword will die by the sword. Don't you know that I can ask my Father, and he will instantly provide more than 12 armies of angels to help me? But if I did that, how could the passages in the Tanakh be fulfilled that say it has to happen this way? Then Yeshua addressed the crowd. So you came out to take me with swords and clubs, the way you would the leader of a rebellion. Every day I sat in the temple court, teaching, and you didn't seize me then. But all this has happened so that what the prophets wrote may be fulfilled. Then the Talmudim all deserted him and ran away. Those who had seized Yeshua led him off to Caiaphas the Kohen Hagadol, where the Torah teachers and elders were assembled. Kepha followed him at a distance as far as the courtyard of the Kohen Hagadol. Then he went inside and sat down with the guards to see what the outcome would be. The head Kohanim and the whole Sanhedrin looked for some false evidence against Yeshua, so that they might put him to death. But they didn't find any, even though many liars came forward to give testimony. At last, however, 2 people came forward and said, This man said, I can tear down God's temple and build it again in 3 days. The Kohen Hagadol stood up and said, Have you nothing to say to the accusation these men are making? Yeshua remained silent. The Kohen Haggadol said to him, I put you under oath. By the living God, tell us if you are the Mashiach, the Son of God. Yeshua said to him, The words are your own. But I tell you that one day you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of Hagvira and coming on the clouds of heaven. 3. At this, the Kohen Haggadol tore his robes. Blasphemy, he said. Why do we still need witnesses? You heard him blaspheme. What is your verdict? Guilty, they answered. He deserves death. Then they spit in his face and pounded him with their fists, and those who were beating him said, Now, you, Messiah, prophesy to us. Who hit you that time? 3 denials of Peter. Kepha was sitting outside in the courtyard when a servant girl came up to him. You too were with Yeshua from the Galilee, she said. But he denied it in front of everyone. I don't know what you're talking about. He went out onto the porch, and another girl saw him and said to the people there, This man was with Yeshua of Nazareth. Again he denied it, swearing, I don't know the man. After a little while, the bystanders approached Kepha and said, You must be one of them. Your accent gives you away. This time he began to invoke a curse on himself as he swore, I do not know the man, and immediately a rooster crowed. Kepha remembered what Yeshua had said, Before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times, and he went outside and cried bitterly.